Welcome to the SwimStrong Dryland Podcast. We are dedicated to inspiring and educating the swimming world. Our podcast highlights the work, character, and achievements in and around the SwimStrong community. All right, welcome to the SwimStrong Dryland Podcast, episode number 1. I'm very excited to introduce to y'all our first guest, Bridget Davis, who is a part of the SwimStrong Dryland small group team and swims out in New Jersey. Bridget, real quick, would you mind telling people what grade you're in, where you swim at, and where you're headed off to college this coming year?
Yes. Hi, I'm Bridget. I just graduated from Union Catholic High School in Fanwood, New Jersey. I swim for the Fanwood Scotch Plains YMCA, and I'm going into my freshman year at the University of Connecticut.
Yeah, the Huskies. So real quick, I know people are going to get to know you, so I want to ask you a couple of rapid fire questions. So number 1, what would be your walkout song?
Getaway Car by Taylor Swift.
Okay. How about favorite movie or book?
I would have to say The Giver by Lois Lowry.
Nice. What is your dream job?
My dream job would be to be like a travel blogger. I feel like that would be really cool. Like just, traveling around the world and writing about it and learning about different cultures and stuff like that.
I like it. How about what celebrity would you be most excited to meet?
Timothy Chalamet.
Okay. Awesome. And how about your favorite swim meet weekend restaurant, place your go-to when you're at a swim meet?
It's got to be Panera.
Oh, good call. Panera.
Yes.
Describe the moment that you fell in love with the sport of swimming.
The moment I fell in love with swimming was at my local summer swim club. And I swam my first 25, or I swam a 25 freestyle, and I got a first place ribbon. And I remember just feeling so proud of myself. And from that moment on, I couldn't stop. And
last question I have for you. What is your favorite thing about the SwimStrong program that you've enjoyed?
So I've been in the small group for a little, like close to 3 months now, which I started later in my swimming career, which is completely okay. But I've already been able to see what SwimStrong Dryland has done for me in the water. And the fact that each workout is tailored to swimming. And I can see how it helps me, with my dive or just my underwaters every day. And I see that change is really incredible. So I think that you have done an amazing job just, working on those little exercises. Because when I'm doing like some kind of squat or streamlined and stuff like that, I can see what you were thinking of when you created it. And it's really great because it's helped me, just every day in my workouts. So.
Well, that's a little bit about Bridget. There's a lot more, obviously, but that's fun to do. And I want to be able to dive into this and let everybody know really the focus behind this. I want you guys to get to know Bridget outside of the pool today. There's some pretty amazing things that she's doing in her life, in her community. And I know many people will be inspired by that. So really the aim of our podcast, we want to inspire, we want to educate, and we want to also have some fun with our guests. If anybody in the future is interested in being a guest, don't hesitate to reach out. But Bridget, we are really excited to kick this off with you. And something I really want to dive into is just you're a part of an organization called Shining Stars. Would you mind telling us a little bit about that?
Yes. So about a couple years ago in 2019, I started through Shining Stars. My brother, Mattie, he's on the spectrum. He has a disability. And so he wanted to do this program called Shining Stars, which is a performing arts program for children with special needs or adults. And so when Mattie started, it was in 2019, and I didn't get to go to his first, couple of shows or performances. But then in 2020, when it was COVID, he started doing it online, and they didn't have any background performers. So I was the only option. So I started to help him out with the Christmas show, and I dressed up as an elf and stuff like that. And I just realized that the program that Shining Stars was incredible and something I really wanted to become involved in. And from that moment on, I just felt a connection, and I started to do it.
That's awesome. And so when you got involved with Shining Stars, what was kind of the roles and responsibilities, or what did the day-to-day look like? What type of things do you do?
So after practice on Thursdays, either Thursdays and Tuesdays, they have practices, and Thursdays is my day off. So I would go for just 2 hours, and we would run through like acts and performances. And so the individuals pick like a song or something like a dance that they want to do for the show. And there's usually a theme. So every year they do like a Christmas show. This year they did around the world theme. So they picked songs from different countries and then they perform it. So I just help tweak their performances, help keep them, make sure they feel comfortable on stage and that kind of thing. And from there, it takes a couple months to get into it. And then we have like a show week, and it's very real. We go on a big stage and that kind of thing, and they get to perform. So it's super cool just being involved. And I'm a little bit in the background because I'm not a great dancer or singer, but I love watching them. Yeah, no, my mom was like, "What? Like, oh my gosh, like you can't dance. How are you going to be able to help them dance?" But they're the dancers, so I'm grateful that I can still be involved and not have to dance in front of everyone.
That's funny. That sounds like a ton of fun though. That's awesome that you get to help with that. And what type of impact have you seen like on your life personally being involved with the organization?
Well, starting with the special needs community, it has just been something that's really impacted me throughout my life. I've seen a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're helping out them," right? But they're helping me truly. I come home at the end of the day inspired, just with my brother on a daily basis. He'll be doing things that the doctors told him he couldn't walk or talk when he, just at the age of 3. And we worked really hard. My mom especially worked really hard with him to get him to walk and talk. And so every day I think in the back of my head, like, he was told he wasn't supposed to do that. And here he is, defying everything that he was told that he wasn't supposed to do. So I think a lot of it is like, we're told you can't do that. And you're not allowed, almost like you're not allowed to. And these kids every day prove otherwise. So that's just really the impact it's had on me. So I hope that I'm impacting them, but I feel like they're making the bigger impact on myself.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Tell me a little bit more about the journey of your brother learning to walk and talk and being told that he couldn't do that. What did that look like, that process?
Yeah. So my brother's a little bit older than me. He's 6 years older than me. So just growing up and watching him, progress into being able to talk more clearly, walk better, has been very interesting. And it was actually music that helped him talk. My mom would be driving to, wherever every day, the grocery store or something like that. And she'd play music and she could start to hear him humming. And so as he got older, he would be humming. And that's when she knew that he could really talk. And although the doctors had been like, he won't ever be able to walk or talk, she knew that wasn't going to happen. I'm lucky that I have a little bit of that stubborn personality. Like you can't tell me no. Like I'm going to keep working for it. So I take that in my swimming too. Like you can't tell me I can't push myself that hard or do anything like that. So music has definitely been a really large part of our lives. And we actually really enjoy going to see like local live bands at restaurants, or I love going to concerts and stuff like that. And Mattie has gone to a couple concerts with me. We went to Billy Joel one time. It was fun. It was very loud, but it was fun.
That's awesome. And
yes.
That process that you're talking about of just hearing yourself being told I can't do something, or you can't do something, and then not taking that as truth, that's not an easy thing for a lot of people to do. So I'm curious how your brother Mattie or yourself or your mom, when you hear those words, when that's something that comes up, what is it that's given you that mindset? Like, how did you develop that? Because I don't think that's normal.
Yeah, anytime someone says like you can't do it, makes me want to push myself harder to be like, I can do it. And honestly, I've had my own struggles, school. I was diagnosed with dyslexia and ADHD. And those things are like, a lot of people will be like, you're not going to be good at reading, or you're not going to be able to be at the same level as everyone else in the classroom. And just proving everyone else wrong is really something that's been important to me. And I feel like for my family, proving people wrong that, just because you're special needs doesn't mean you can't do everything else everyone else does. And so that's why we just remind Mattie that he can do it. And anytime we hear him saying he can't do it, which is upsetting, we're like, we know you can. We've seen you do it before. And so I like to take that, into the pool with me. Like, no one can tell me I can't do it, because I'm here. I'm already defying everything and everyone else has already told me in my life, and I'm ready to push myself.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I think that's incredible. That's a mindset that I wish, that I want to develop more of, and that I wish people, around the world would adopt, because that there are just so many times in life where we're told either you can't do something, or it's very unlikely, or people judge you, just by outward, whatever appearances and thought processes, and just decide, oh, you can't do this because of X, Y, Z. And it sounds like you and Mattie and your family have been told many, many things like that over time, and you've continued to overcome those obstacles. And so now you hear it, and it sounds like you turn it into motivation. You're almost like, okay, keep telling me what I can't do, and we'll keep showing you right. That's just not true. So that's really cool. And from the moment that I have had the pleasure of getting to talk with you and know you, I have been inspired by the things that you're doing in your life, your character, your mindset, how you care for people. And you mentioned something a couple minutes ago that struck me, how you said people often view people with special needs. And I'm wondering if there's something you wish people would know, that you'd like to share with people, in the way that they talk about people with special needs, or view that.
Yeah, I just think it's really important to teach everyone else that just because someone might have special needs does not mean that they're not smart, or does not mean that they can't teach you something. I've learned so many things along the way that I never thought I would have learned. They just have a different brain. Like, it's just different. Sometimes, not everyone can be the same. And for example, like my brother Mattie, he's extremely smart. He's very good with technology. I'm always asking him like what's on TV at what time, and he knows at the top of, like, he can just tell me right away. So like at the tip of his tongue. That's what I was trying to say. But he's, just everyone, a lot of people are looking from the outside, and they're like, oh, I feel so bad for them. I feel bad that they can't do everything. And again, can't comes up, like you can't do it. So I think it's just, I want people to know that just because they might be different does not mean that they can't do everything else that you can do. And it does not mean they can't accomplish everything that we can do. And, you can see that with things like Special Olympics or Paralympics. There's constantly barriers being broken. So
that's amazing. I feel like anytime people in general, I feel like struggle with differences, people who are not exactly the same as them in a million different ways. And I think that's something that is sad, because we have so much to learn from everyone who's on this planet. And we are all a lot more alike than we are different. And the more time you get to spend, like with you, not just with your brother, but being a part of Shining Stars and different organizations. I'm wondering, what are some of the lessons or things that you mentioned how much they've had an impact on you. Are there any specific things outside of, obviously you mentioned like just that determination and not accepting I can't. Are there ways in which you have practically been impacted and learned things about yourself that you never would have if you hadn't spent this time volunteering and spending time with people with special needs?
Yeah, something, the biggest piece of it would be patience and kindness. There's so much patience that you need to work with this group of kids, and just realizing that it might take a second for them to, catch on. And I found that I just can take a second and realize that they might need a second, and that's okay. It's okay for it to take a little longer, because no matter what, we're going to get to the same place. everyone's going to be in that same place. Same thing about kindness. They treat each other so incredibly. And they treat me so incredibly too. You know, I might be catching on to their dances or their singing, but they have patience with me, and they have kindness with me, and they're able to say, hey, you know, can you help me with this? Or, hey, like, I think you need help with that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just that balance of, you know, being kind and waiting on something. And if they need help, helping them out. So I really enjoy that. And I think that's made the biggest impact on me.
That's cool. So growing your character in ways that are incredible by seeing these character traits that they have is something that's an amazing impact. And so I absolutely love hearing that. And the whole world could use a lot of patience and kindness. That's for sure.
Yes, I agree. Someone should make like a shirt.
Yeah,
some kind of shirt that says patience and kindness. I bet there's one out there, but
I like it. I like it. If there's not, you can start it.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I understand you're a part of not just Shining Stars, but there's at least one more organization that you're a part of. Would you like to tell us a little bit about that as well?
Yes. So I'm in a club at my school I was in a club at my school called Crayon Club. And originally my sister had been president. She's 4 years older than me. She was president of the club. And then I came to school and I decided that it was a club I wanted to be involved in because what it is a couple nights a month, we throw events for we throw events for anyone in the community with special needs. And they come in and we just have it's a big party. So there's movie nights. We did a beach theme. We had prom one time, which was really fun. And so it's something that my friends at school can get involved in. And also Mattie comes and he brings all of his friends. And it's just an involvement of everyone because a lot of it is the fact that sometimes students aren't as comfortable with the special needs community. It can kind of be awkward at times, and that's the honest truth. They do different things, and that's fine. But getting comfortable and being in the same situation and just having fun with them is something that's really important, and I'd like for other students or kids my age to do. So it's just so much fun, honestly. Like I have the best time. We play loud, like we play music, we dance, and we have like fun snacks and popcorn, and we make like crafts and stuff. So it's really great that I could be involved with that at my school because I think it's important. We don't really have a lot of special needs. We don't have any special needs individuals at my school. So they're coming from outside. And a lot of it is also parents who just need 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours just to themselves. And we can just hang out. It's not like babysitting or anything. We're literally just hanging out with people who are our friends. So it's honestly, I think that one thing I would say is it's very easy to start a club at your school, at anyone's school I can imagine. And just setting up something like that is so much fun and can make such a difference in other people's lives.
And what would you, on that note, you mentioned a lot of people can be uncomfortable or they're not sure how to interact. What would you recommend to the person out there who is inspired by the things you're saying, wants to make a difference, but they don't know how they can? They feel like they don't necessarily know how to communicate properly, or what would your like first step be, or first piece of advice be to like get involved to make a difference?
You know, something I would do is finding something that's relatable to both you and the individual. So like sometimes I talk about swimming. They do the same things as us. Mattie loves music. So a lot of the conversations with Mattie and some of my friends are about music or what kind of new songs you're listening to. So I think it's very easy to just find a topic that's comfortable for the both of you and then continuing that topic. And definitely not to speak down to an individual. Just because they might seem like they're not on the same level as you doesn't mean they're dumb and doesn't mean that they're like supposed to be talked to like a child. So that's one thing I would say is just talk to them like they're your friend. And it's so easy and it's fun. You know, it's just another friend. So
that's awesome. I mean, that's so simple. Like just be friends and find common ground. And that's what you do with any friendship and with any human. Like that's I just think that's so important to know that people don't need to be afraid to be uncomfortable and spend time with someone that they don't know a lot
Yes.
about yet. I don't know. I think that's really.
Yeah, I actually, sorry to interrupt you. No, I
No,
just
go
want to
ahead.
say being afraid to be uncomfortable is something that's so important. And a lot of the times during Crayon Club, there will be new members from the student body of my school or whatever. And we just like we'll have a meeting and we'll be like, just be uncomfortable. It's okay to be a little bit uncomfortable at first and ease into it. Don't be scared of it, because then there's not going to be a change. And what we're trying to do here and in both Shining Stars and Crayon Club is make a change in the community, and make sure that these kids are also seen, because it's so important for everyone to be seen.
What would you say, like, your heart in all of this is? Like, what would be, for you? Why is this so personally meaningful? The why behind it all for you.
I mean, honestly, just going back to my brother Mattie, like he's an inspiration. He every day, like I'm going to the pool and I'm swimming and I'm, an athlete. And every day I think to myself, I can push myself so much because I watch him push himself every day.
Hmm.
So it's on, like, just a simple answer is it's him. I've watched him and he's so inspiring. That, like, what else could I do? Like, I have to be involved in this because not that I have to be, but I choose to be involved in this because he's such an inspiration to me and he's made such a large impact on my life.
That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. Well, I want to thank you for sharing all of that stuff. And how can people, if they are curious to ask you more questions, how can people reach out to you to inquire about anything?
Yeah, I mean, people can reach out. I have like Instagram or anything like that. Just shoot me a DM. And it's, easy to just text me, ask me any questions you have at all, and I'm here to answer them. And I'd love to answer them, actually.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I'm going to shift just a little bit the topic to finish up. For all the things that you have been inspired by through your brother, through the different organizations, and the things that you've learned throughout your life, how do you feel like that has impacted your swim journey? Because you mentioned a lot of ways in which it's impacted you in the pool. What do you feel like that has looked like for you in the water?
I think swim is a mental game, and I think it can be hard sometimes to just get out there and continue to swim. Some days there's ups and some days there's downs, and just doing this outside work and seeing all these people have fun doing something they love has made me, realize that swimming is something that I love and something that I am able to push myself and I can get through the harder days, and just, continue to do it. So.
Cool. And you are going to UConn, you mentioned. So what was the process like for you choosing UConn?
Yes, here's my sweatshirt. Honestly, this is gonna sound a little repetitive, but it was actually connected to Mattie again. I had been choosing between a couple schools, some great schools, and Mattie came with me on one of my visits for like a junior day, and the coach had met Mattie and they had actually like helped him walk around. There was like some stairs. We went in the stadiums and he loves that kind of stuff. He's very into sports. So we just took a tour. And at the end of my visit, the coach had come up to me and he said something along the lines of like, be you. And I didn't know what he meant by that, but I was like, oh, thank you so much, whatever. And it turns out a couple weeks later, we're on a call and he's like, remember when I said like, be you? And I was like, yes, I do remember that. And he said, I saw how you were with your brother. And I just wanted to make sure that you continue that because that's a very special gift that you have and something
Wow.
that we here at UConn want to see. Yeah, it's a true story. And it's just, so it like gets me emotional every time. Just because, I was looking for some other extra part of it because I'm not going to be swimming my entire life. It's not going to be, my professional career. I love it. And it's something that I want to continue to do in college. And that outside factor and the fact that he recognized that that's something I'm passionate about along with swimming, just really pulled me in. So
Awesome.
I really love my coach. I love the coaching staff there. They're always considerate and they ask about Mattie and on top of being a great program. So I'm really excited to swim there, compete there, meet some great people. It's going to be a really great time.
That's awesome. Sounds like a perfect fit and the type of program you want to be a part of, where they truly care about you as a person. So that's really, really cool to hear. For us, having you a part of the SwimStrong program has been amazing, because you not only are a hard worker in the pool, but most importantly, you impact the people who are in the program. And for me, the SwimStrong community is my favorite part of the whole thing, is that there's people like you across the country that just want to make a difference in other people's journeys and lives. And you do such a fantastic job of that, impacting myself, the people on your small group team, and I'm sure out at Fanwood Scotch and, across the swimming world, people you've come across. So, well, thank you for everything that you're doing outside of the swimming world and in the swimming community. Bridget, it was an absolute pleasure to get to talk with you. And thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much, Eric. This was awesome.
Thank you for listening to the SwimStrong Dryland Podcast. If you'd like to be a part of the SwimStrong Dryland family, you can reach out to us via email or social media. You can also follow SwimStrong Dryland on YouTube and TikTok for more educational content.